Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the most exciting cup of this season, the Catch Cup. Yeah, okay, maybe not. But yeah, today we're going to take a look at the Catch Cup. Here we're going to have some first battles for this cup. I did 4 sets in total. You see around like half of the games I did here as well. And we're going to have a very toxic line with the Bastion, which I built this season. And I built a new Victory Bell and I built a new Annihilape. And this is kind of what you want to do for this kind of week anyway. If you have Pokemon that you can build that are from this season, then try to build them, because it does make sense. First game already very fast here anyway, we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have here my Annihilape that I tried to get a specific area spread, which I actually got here as well, which is kind of nice. I want to have a little bit of an attack weight. You really want to have a defense weight on the Annihilape as well, and then just a little bit of HP. Like if you don't know the IV spreads that are really useful for the Annihilape, would recommend you Swag Tips channel. But otherwise, here we're going to see a Solar Beam variant of the Victory Bell. I saw mad stuff. Most of the stuff you're not going to see, by the way. That's like crazy mad, because a lot of opponents forfeit after like 10 seconds, and I only put like 2 games or whatever in there from that. But I had so many people just forfeiting basically immediately after seeing the Bastion, which gives kind of easy instant wins, which is kind of funny. But yeah, quite a lot of people that actually have some crazy Pokemon, like a Carbink here built for the season, which is kind of mad. I encountered quite a lot of Lickitung, so some people definitely invested a lot of Stardust into them, but of course, yeah, this is kind of the way to go if you have like something laying around, which you always kind of wanted to build, but like maybe it's a little bit spicier, or like, I don't know, like, yeah, you don't have a good version of it. Build it now, so you can use during the Catch Cup. I think Catch Cup is kind of an awkward concept, but it also has some benefits. This team is a double good against a Wigglytuff, which is kind of nice, but we don't really have a great answer against the Victory Bell. I would have rather had like something like a Tropius in the back for this team as well, because it's going to give you some better options here. And I would actually go for the non-Razor Leaf variant. I would rather go for the Astash variant just to be a little bit less toxic, because there are quite a lot of say-swaps of Annihilape usually, or also of course the Victory Bell because of the Community Day. I felt it was very easy to catch moves on my Victory Bell, which was really cool for me. I'm not too sure how many battles you're gonna see where I have Acid Spray. Here I have Acid Spray, for example. Again, I did 3 battles total with Acid Spray, which I just did because I forgot. You do really want to have Sludge Bomb on the normal variant. On the Shadow variant, you can run Acid Spray, but on the normal variant, Sludge Bomb is definitely the better move to go for just as coverage. But here we're gonna see another person that built a Bastion this season, which is kind of mad, which we're going to be able to at least get some damage onto them, and we can align ourselves, which is really important, especially as you're gonna have a CMP tie now, which is going to be great for us. As the Stonehenge is going to connect, we can swap into the Annihilape, they swap back into their Wigglytuff, and while we're low, we still have a shield, we have some energy, we have some nice damage coming through, and so we're going to be in a very decent spot here for this game. As you guys see, the opponent's kind of low, and we can just farm them all the way down, and now they decide to forfeit. Honestly, this team was amazing. Of course, there are going to be weaknesses, but I would not really recommend you to be like too harsh on yourself during this cup. Like, it is a little bit awkward for the people who want to hit Legend. I guess, like, if you really want to hit Legend in this cup, you kind of have to invest some Stardust, otherwise you're going to struggle a little bit, and you have to try to build like a good balanced team. But otherwise, just have fun in this cup. Like, honestly, you get, I think it's extra Stardust again this week, which is kind of mad, which is really good, and honestly, like, very cool for this cup right now as well, because like that's going to allow you to get on average, I think, around like 7k per set. You have 5 sets a day, so 35k per day times 7 is going to be like 250k Stardust for this week that you can get by playing this, which I feel like is kind of decent, and so definitely something I would recommend you to do anyway. But yeah, anyways, we're going to be able to go for a Leaf Blade here against the opponent's Tentacruel. We can not get to another move here, so I'm forced to catch a move onto my Bastion. And here I have to hope that the opponent does not get up to 2 charge moves. If they only get to 1, I'm fine, because I still have my Victory Bell. But what we're going to see here as well is that we can go for a charge move, which is going to be able to connect and knock them out, and so we can move on to the next opponent. Magnezone in the lead. I would recommend you to swap out straight away, because they actually resist the harder hitting moves on your Pokemon in the back with the Victory Bell, but the opponent had already enough, and so we can move on to the next opponent. This is a little bit of a trickier matchup, and I honestly kind of want to take a look at this real quick on the side as well, because I'm curious if we can win this as a Shadow Bastion in the 2-shield scenario, because I feel like you might have a chance for that. But let's take a look here real quick. The opponent goes for the Mandibus here against our Annihilape. That was something that kind of annoyed me. I maybe even rather had Ice Punch on my Annihilape over Shadow Ball, because Shadow Ball is kind of nice, of course, and we're most likely going to use it a little bit as well here. But there were quite a lot of Mandibus around, which does make sense. There was an event before where Mandibus, or like the Vullaby, was spawning in the wild, which gave a lot of people their first good Vullaby, which I might also build another one as well, because I actually got a really good one as well there. But yeah, again, we're going to see the opponent Sensage coming back in. I'm looking at the side real quick as well. Against the normal one, you can actually win in the Zero Shield scenario with a Shadow variant, but against the Shadow one, you're not going to be able to win anything other than the Zero Shields as well. So we're most likely going to lose this matchup here with our Bastion, so I'm forced to let this move go through, hoping that they would go for an Ice Punch, but they don't. And so now it's down to our Victory Bell. Victory Bell is going to try to go for the full farm down here, but you're gonna be able to do so. But what do they have in the back? Oh, it's an Altaria. No chance, like no chance in this battle. Next opponent, a lovely lead though. Finally another hard wall, as you're gonna see the Clodsire coming in. And honestly, here I think it might be even better that we are the normal Victory Bell. Why? Because I can take a move, and like that's something that you cannot really say about the Shadow variant of Victory Bell. So we can go for 2 Leaf Blades, and by the looks of things, we would be able to knock them out with that. If they want to use a shield, good for us. If they don't want to use a shield, it's fine, but they decide to use a shield. We still outspeed them no matter what they want to do, especially if they give us a free fast move like they did here right now, which is kind of lovely. And so we can go for the full farm down maybe even at this point. Let's see what the opponent's going to do here. Touch Bomb again. Should have went for my charge move straight away, so that was a mistake. Now I decided to go for my charge move, which maybe I could have went for the full farm down, but I think my HP was a little bit too low, so kind of misplayed this a little bit. Should have went straight for my Leaf Blade, but I can go for another Leaf Blade here. The opponent swaps out into a Mantine, and so they are going to be double weak against my Bastion. And so I try to catch a charge move onto my Annihilape here with the potential of Water Pulse, but it's only going to be the Aerial Ace. But as you can see here, this is a CMP tie. And this is lovely, because now we can go for the Night Sledge and the opponent is going to waste their energy. Very likely that they're going to zero bubble this one so they get some more energy, which they do, but it does not really help them at all, because we have so much fast move pressure with our Shadow variant of the Bastion. It is kind of wild. And so we're going to be able to take that Water Pulse. They can swap out all they want. They can still get another charge move here. But even like Discharge should not be putting us into a range where we will get knocked out, and so we can just farm them all down. Next opponent, look at this. We're going to have the Wigglytuff on the lead, and they swap out into the Lickitung. Maybe a small mistake by me to not stay in for a little bit longer, because at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I can just go for the Night Sledge here as long as I can align myself. It's fine. And then again, like, I don't even really need alignment, but I can just go for it. Here, we're going to be able to go for Night Sledge. The opponent is going to go for most likely something like the Power Whip, so we decide to use a shield. And look at this. The opponent decides to forfeit anyway. Goodbye there. And I actually cut out most of the battles where the opponents forfeited straight away, by the way. So, like, there were so many battles that we just won straight away after 5 seconds, just because this team is quite toxic. And already our lead was something that people kind of didn't want to play against. And don't blame me for this, because I needed to build a better Annihilape, because my current one was garbage. And I already had my Bastion built. And so I only built like now a normal variant of the Victory Bell, just to have like that one built as well, because I only had the Shadow ones built so far. And so all the Pokemon kind of make some kind of sense for me. By the way, the Victory Bell, I decided to go for not the best IVs that I had, while the IVs are kind of decent. If you can see it here on the screen as well, this is an XXL variant. So like it is a little bit more chunky in terms of not the bulk in the game, but just like the looking of it. Like it looks a little bit bigger than usual. So yeah, I just want to have some fun with that thing as well. Was not too expensive anyway. It's like, I don't know, 100k Stardust or something. But yeah, I might build some more Pokemon for this cup as well. I might even stream throughout the week a little bit with this cup, but I have to see about this. Again, if you have some interesting things for this cup, there's always a link in the description where you can send in your battles. I kind of have to rely on this, and you're gonna see a lot of non-PvP stuff here on the channel as well. What I mean with this is like non-battle stuff. Like I'm going to still be all about Go Battle League or something like this, but like it's not going to be battles. Something similar to the video earlier on about the evolutions and how to fix them, so definitely check that one out as well. Going to be linked in the end card of this video. Also, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. Would really appreciate it as well, especially if you're still watching this video until this point here. We're going to have the Wicked Tough now against us, which we can just smack it down quite easily, which is going to be lovely for us. We're going to see the opponent going into the Annihilape again, which we can now try to go for our Flamethrower against. This is going to be able to connect, and we can swap out into our Victory Ball. It's going to be a tough matchup for us. They might be already at a Shadow Ball. It's very unlikely that they're going to go for a Shadow Ball, but I have to keep my shields, or like my health, kind of on my Victory Ball, as they're going to have a very awkward Pokemon for us in the back. Kinda mad that someone actually went ahead and built a Toxtrap text for this meta. You don't need a lot of XLs. I think you need a slightly XL variant of this Pokemon, but still kinda mad to see a Pokemon like this built for this meta. But yeah, it is what it is. Like, at higher up elo range, you're most likely going to encounter a lot of toxic teams, but also a lot of very expensive teams for the Catch Cup. But again, if you invest a lot of Stardust into this cup, you might actually be able to get easy legend. This team definitely is something that I would recommend you if you have the Pokemon. There are other options for the lead as well, like a Probopass, like an Auroras, like a Carbink, depending on kind of what anti-flying you want to have. I feel like with the amount of Gligar currently around, Auroras has a lot of play actually in the Open Great League as well. But yeah, let's take a look here at the next opponent. We're going to have here the Galvantula, which is going to go for the lunge, which doesn't matter because you can still go for the full farm down. And this also tells me that I have to keep my lead alive because they're going to have a Pokemon in the back that's going to be weak against it. Never mind, they have two Pokemon in the back that are going to be weak against it. And so we can go ahead and go for our Shadow Ball now, get them kind of low. But I'm scared. I am scared for sure because the issue is now that they have some energy on both of their Pokemon. And I have a Shadow Bastion. While Shadow Bastion is doing more damage against them, it also can really take a hit. And so, yeah, we're going to be forced to use a Shield here onto the Energy Ball, which is a guaranteed hard-hitting move. And now in comes the Scaldage again, as we had exactly 100 energy, so we wasted a little bit of energy there as well, which is okay. It is what it is. But as you can see here, we're going to try to catch a move, which does actually work out pretty well for us. It is going to be even the Disarming Voice, which I did not even expect. I thought they would go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. But with this, we're going to be able to go for another charge move, and no matter what they're going to do, they're going to lose. They decide to go for a Shield, so we can go for a Stone Edge. If they let the move go through, I think one Smackdown would have been enough to knock them out. And so we can win this game, and we can move on to the final one for today. I didn't really want to make the video too long as well because Catch Cup is Catch Cup, so I didn't really want to bother you too much with that. But this was actually one of the more interesting ones here because we're going to have this Skeletorch in the back, which we can now try to go for the Night Stage. We were very lucky that we were able to get a shield here, and also, we're going to see something interesting now, which changes everything. They decide to use another shield, which I did not expect because I would have been able to survive it. But like this, and especially after losing the Lostheart, I am now going to go for the switch advantage. And this is exactly what I'm going to go here for. I can actually like guarantee switch advantage because I baited them twice. And so we can go for the Shadow Ball now, knock them out. This is going to be it for that one. They're going to go back most likely into the Quagsire, but they're going to be aligned against our Victory Ball. This is looking pretty decent for us. Awkward thing though is they have basically a Stone Edge stored already on this Pokemon, but at least we're gonna get a one Magical Leaf in immediately, which is gonna get around like half of the health that I still have remaining here onto them, and it's going to be the Lickitung. It's going to be an easy victory for us now, as we can catch the Body Slam, double resisted on our Bastion. Like, what do they want to do at this point? I should be able to just win this game here, right? Maybe. It is still going to be a little bit tricky, at least that's what I thought, but never mind, the opponent decided to forfeit anyway. And so, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.